Welcome to SC Custom Designs. We are continuing the series on creating this amazing, awesome bandsaw box. Don't get hung up on the idea of the box part. As you can see, these don't look like boxes. The whole concept is to go over to a bandsaw and you're going to cut every piece that you see in the series out of from the bandsaw. All right, using different size blades. So going back over here, this guy started off looking like this. This is the four corners of a table I found on the side of the road, and these are the other parts. But from this came this. How is that even possible, you might ask? Well, lots of imagination that I didn't think I actually had. Every time I go to make another different style bandsaw box, they tend to amaze me how they come out. All right, so we're at the point of where we're still sanding, or we'll be sanding for a long time. But I decided to stop because if you look at the previous series, you'll see the beginning and the continuation of a segment such as the sanding. I showed you all the possible sanders. I took these guys out from under here. This sander there and this sander here. I took him out, and he stays on the top of the bench because he's so versatile. And so at this point, though, I find I'm using this guy here at this point, stage of the game, and I'm using all my hand sanders. All right, so all these different shapes that I showed you in previous episodes, I'm actually using them now. Even this guy here, I cut him in half so I could put different grits in there and get into those really small areas that you find. It's very challenging to sand these areas. I did get another. I left that there on reason, for a purpose. I got two of these guys now. So at the moment he's 120. And he is probably 220. And with the various stages, you're going to need them. So I highly recommend a light like this, Alt light, however you say this. It's really good because it really concentrates the light. And you're going to see things like oscillating marks and nicks that you otherwise put into the wood, because that's just what they do. So we've come a long way. Let's put these guys back together so you can see what you've been seeing in the video. All right. And I actually do want to do a side-by-side. Let's lay it down so you can see the side-by-side a little easier. Sorry, y'all on the big TVs. Now look at the difference between these guys. What have I done with him since you saw him last? Well, I softened up the corner, the edges. I hear the words coming out of my mouth and I'm saying the wrong thing. So I softened that up, and I also softened up the inside where these guys are joining, so the customer can buy one or both of these. Okay, and to show you the difference with what little bit of sanding I did already, let's watch this. All right, with a little bit of sanding, let's look at the one on the right here and on the left. What I did is I rounded over the edges of the drawers, and really nice effect that has, as opposed to the really straight. Okay, the crisper cut. Doing this can help you with the whoopsies that come into play when you're when you're cutting out with the tools, you know, and the blades, and they go a little bit too far this way or that way. It wasn't, you didn't. Here's a good example. See how he's got space in there. They're, for the most part, evenly spaced, but when you have something noticeable like this, rounding them over, sorry, I'm about to sneeze, rounding them over tells the eye, there's no problem here, there's nothing to see here. It is just some of the methods you can use, okay? So I really am quite impressed and pleased, as usual, with the progress of the bandsaw box. Okay, it's just, if you haven't started making bandsaw boxes, I highly recommend you do. Start off with something simple, like these guys here. You take a 4x4 like this. And I've sold a lot of these at my shows. I got one more show coming up, 2019, at the end of September. So pausing for videos is hard for me. But it's worthwhile. Besides, I told you I'd show you every step of the journey. So you can make a bandsaw box out of this, okay? And when you show the customer this, or even if it's in this shape, and you tell them that it came out of one solid piece, they were like, no, you didn't. That didn't happen that way. So, and then you can take your blocks that are left over. For example, well, even this crazy guy. All right, he came out of here. Okay. Let me try to set myself down here. Hopefully it'll be okay. Set him here. I will drop the phone. Hard to do with my simple setup. Let's see here. So if we take this drawer out, I won't be able to get him back in, but you can see that he came out of here. Can we see that? All right, he was a solid block that came out of here. And that's when the customer says, how did you do that? But if we take another one that's less complicated, oh geez, how does this go in? Like this. This guy, okay, he came out of here. He came out of here, this way. See, he almost fits in there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the same thing out of this and keep going, stepping down, 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 down until you have one that is like this big. And then they're called nested trays, right? Nested. It's pretty cool stuff. And that way you're not wasting. So, you know, and particularly if I get those done in time and I say, hey, that block came out of here. You want the nested trays? Then you might say yes. All right. So this is a good example. I'm glad I took this guy out. I want to show you, take you off the camera, off the mount, and come really close in here. Why do you need a light like this? Because you may not see, I'm not even sure if I'm going to be able to show you this. There's oscillating marks and a line that came across this way. Really, really hard to see, sorry. And so that's why you need a light like this. That's going to help you to see those things. It's quite embarrassing, especially when you start putting the stain on. And I did figure out what I'm going to do there. It's going to be very interesting, my friends. I'm going to stain him golden oak on the insides. Okay. The drawers are going to be golden oak. This is going to be dark beech nut. That and on the outside. All right. Imagine what that's going to look like. It's going to be amazing. Okay. Yeah. All right, I better get back to work, right? So just look around. You can see I'm really finishing up the job with all my hand sanders. of different shapes and sizes. I want to say we're getting into the autumn, and then certainly the wintertime, you want to keep a good eye on your humidity levels. When they start dropping down into the 40s and 30s, my friends, that's when your wood starts to crack up. And when you get involved in your projects, and you lose track of time and so on and so forth, you may not realize that your wood is cracking right on you. And that happened to me a couple years ago when I was doing my very first bandsaw boxes. I literally heard crack, crack, crack. I'm like, what is that? It was my bandsaw boxes cracking because they didn't have any finish on them. You know, hey, when you take the clothes off your wood, the bark, isn't that cool? Found that on the side of the road. And my wife and I were walking not too long ago. Yeah, so, all right. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. If you subscribe to the channel, hit that bell. You'll be notified of the new videos that come up, and it'll probably be this one. Thanks for coming to the shop at Cousin Designs. Remember, I do this on the side. QA software guy in the daytime, and this is me at night. And so there you go. If you're in the local area, please come and see us. Patronize us at the next show. I doubt any of my listeners are going to be in the local area. But there you go. Take care. God bless. Shalom. To all my friends around the world. Bye-bye.